Hello dear kids, you are here with us at Padai Ke Fande. Here we are going to study about story of a silkworm. In 6th standard you may have studied about the fibers, that the fibers are basically categorized into two categories, that are natural fibers and synthetic fiber. Then based on the sources from where they are obtained, the natural sources are divided into two categories. They are plant fibers and animal fiber. In 6th standard you have studied about plant fiber. Now here we'll study about an animal fiber, that is silk. Silk is an animal fiber which is obtained from the thread-like filament spun by silkworm. Silk is soft and lustrous. It's so much shiny. It is comfortable to wear in winters and summers both. It keeps us warm in winter and cool in summer. As it is so nice in appearance and comfortable in both the weather condition, it is used in variety of clothes like sari, kurta, dress materials and all. It gives us good appearance when we wear it. So, it is used to make clothes. Now, if we talk about its discovery, so there is a story behind it. Silk was discovered in China. The story is that the Chinese princess sat in her garden under a mulberry tree. Then she was having tea. She had a cup of tea in her hand, which was hot. She felt suddenly something dropped into her tea. Then it was a white ball-like structure. Then after a few minutes, she found that some thread-like filaments are released through that ball. Very fine thread-like structure. She observed that it is coming out from that ball, and then she looked up the tree. She found there some caterpillars were there on the leaves of the tree. They were eating them, and beside them some ball-like structure, white balls hanging on the branches of the tree, which were same as the ball fell in her cup of tea. So in this way the silk was discovered, that from this ball-like structure made by the silkworm can be used to get this fine shiny thread, and then they started making fabric from them to what we know as silk nowadays. So this was the story behind it. So as it was discovered in China, so from China silk was exported to other countries, and the route which was used to export silk from China to other places, the road was called as the Silk Road, and also it is known as the Silk Route. Now we are going to discuss about the life cycle of the silkworm. Here you can see the picture. In this, various steps are shown with numbering. So, in this life cycle, first of all, a female silk moth lays 300 to 400 eggs at a time on the leaves. Then after some time, the eggs hatch and the black larva of silkworm emerges. This stage lasts for about 27 to 28 days, and during this stage the larvae shed their skin 4 times. The process of shedding the skin is called molting. The silkworm feed on the mulberry leaves and they develop gland into them that produce silk. Then the silkworm starts secreting the fine filament from their gland, which are made up of protein, and these get hardened on exposure to air. They only eat fresh mulberry leaf as they can't drink water and get all the moisture they need from the leaves. The newborn silkworm must be placed on mulberry leaf as they are too weak to crawl. They cannot move from one place to another. So, they are left on the mulberry leaves so they can eat their food at their place only. They need to eat regularly so they will grow big enough to start spinning their cocoon. And the process takes about a month. For about a month, they keep eating the mulberry leaves day and night continuously. When they are ready to spin cocoon, then they stop eating. Then they secrete the filament from their gland. Then the filament are deposited in layer, forming cocoon. Inside the cocoon, the silkworm transforms itself into a pupa. The stage is known as pupa. Then, after some time, the silkworm release a liquid from their mouth that help it to eat up the cocoon. As the cocoon becomes so hard, and when it develops completely inside the cocoon, then it secrete a brown liquid to soften the strength of silk and to emerge from the cocoon. Then the moth can eat its way easily as by that liquid it gets softened. After this, you can see here in the point number 6 at the silk moth is coming out from the cocoon. Then it grows and turns to an adult silk moth which is ready to lay eggs further. And the life cycle goes on in the way. Now let us see the process of obtaining silk fibers. In the process of obtaining silk, you can see here that number of cocoons are here in the bamboo tray. Silkworms are reared on a large scale to obtain silk from them. This rearing of silkworm on large scale is known as sericulture. The eggs are collected on the bamboo tray in which they are fed on freshly chopped mulberry leaves. When they are ready to make cocoon, then cocoon fix themselves to a secure surface with a glue-like filament. The silk thread emerges through the worm's lip and it is actually hardened saliva. The cocoon spinning process takes about 3 days. Then, when the cocoon is completely ready, then the silkworm farmers need to be very careful that the process of cocoon before they moth eat their way out of them. Otherwise, once if the cocoon will be broken, then it is very difficult to get a continuous filament out from the cocoon. Then when the cocoon is ready, then they are placed in warm water to kill moth inside them. As it involves killing of silk moth, so it is considered that sericulture is not an eco-friendly practice. They are boiled to loosen the fiber as it gets so hard when it is exposed to the air. So they are boiled so the fibers become soft and loose and ready to be removed from the cocoon. Then silk worker find the end of the thread and wind it into a bobbin. This process is called as reeling to separate the silk filament from cocoon. Then a single strand of silk that form the cocoon can be up to 1 mile long. After the process of reeling, as the filament of silk is so very thin, but it is considered to be strong enough as a steel thread. So, to make them thicker, they are spun into yarn. The process of spinning is done by taking various filaments of silk together and twisting them. The silk yarn is prepared. After that, a silk is commonly found in white, brown or yellowish color. But we have variety of color in the silk clothes with us because they are dyed into various colors. After the process of dyeing, when the silk yarn is available in various color, then they are woven into different color and patterns by the process of weaving. Then the silk fabric is ready to be stitched in variety of dresses. So this was the process to obtain silk fabric, and also we have discussed here about the life cycle of silkworm. In this process, the workers working in the silk industry have some diseases. They are hazards, they are called health hazard, and as they get them because of their occupation, so they are also known as occupational hazard. As when the cocoons are boiled, then the vapors are released, which causes respiratory diseases in the workers working in the silk industry. During the fumigation process, that is, sometimes to kill the larva inside, the diesel fumes are also released on the cocoon. So these fumes are also harmful for the respiratory system of people working there. Also, they need to check the cocoon when they boil it, whether the fiber is softened or not and it is loosened or not. So they need to dip their bare hand inside the hot water again and again, so they get blisters on their hand. And for the process of reeling, that is to remove the silk filament from the cocoon and wound them around the bobbin, they need to stand for about 12 to 16 hours daily. So they suffer from the problems related to the spine. So these are some problems which the workers of silk industry face because of their occupation. Hope the topics which we discuss are clear. You can leave your comments in the comment box. If you have any query, if you like the video, press the like button. Please share it as much you can and subscribe our channel Padhai Ke Funde and press bell icon to get timely updates. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.